Hey guys, welcome to the Dual Threat Podcast. This is your host, Nick. I'm with Buck and Davies. Come in for me on these holidays. Hello, gentlemen. Hope y'all had a good Merry Christmas and or whatever, holiday you want to celebrate. How we doing tonight?
Good, man. Good. Ready to talk some ball.
Ryan, you got a Florida shirt on?
I do. I do.
Next year's going to be a Miami fan.
Oh, Lord.
Nope. That is not the case. No, sometimes you gotta really believe in your team and make a bet against your girlfriend. And sometimes it doesn't work out.
Ah, man.
So it was the Florida State-Florida game?
Yep.
And you got to wear that all year?
No, just for one podcast.
Just more podcasts. Ah,
That
man.
seems like it's not enough.
The fact that you took that bet was brave in its own right. Because I placed a bet and I definitely chose Florida. I was like, ain't no way we're about to win this game.
No, could never. I could never.
But did you have to buy it just for this podcast?
No, thankfully.
Okay.
No,
I didn't know if you had to go buy one.
For her, she is flush in Gator gear.
Okay.
Beyonce's a Gator, man. Oh, that's living dangerously.
I think you should have to do the chomp. I think I need to see the chomp right now.
That I'm not going to do. Yeah.
Give her one chomp.
I feel like you have to do the chomp.
Do
the chomp.
I love you, baby. Here's the
bet.
chomp. I feel like she didn't do the bet right, man. You got to go all in. You got to do one Gator chomp.
I don't need y'all giving her any ideas. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now.
What's your fiance's name?
My girlfriend is Maggie.
Maggie, if you're watching this live right now, or even down the road, next time you make a bet with Brian, we're going to need a Gator chomp. Now, I'm not trying to promote this because obviously I'm not trying to support Florida in my own right. But, it'd be funny.
Trying to find her on Instagram. I found her.
This was not in the itinerary for today's discussion, fellas.
Hey, man.
Well, neither was you wearing a Florida shirt, but here we are.
Yeah,
we could have just ignored it. We could have just ignored it.
So hard to ignore.
That's man. I don't even drink Gatorade because of.
I don't drink Gatorade either.
I actually do drink Gatorade. I tried. I couldn't do it.
Well, if somebody else buys it, I drink it. But I try to only buy Powerade.
Buy Powerade. I respect that.
I think I need to buy more Gatorade now. I don't.
Oh Lord, boo!
Boo
this guy.
Because I'm an adult.
Just because nobody made a Tiger Cola doesn't mean you gotta be
That's
a
what
stick
you
in our
think.
mud.
There actually is one.
There's
not.
I shouldn't have said that because my dad has a 1980 Clemson orange soda can.
No Lord. Well, guys, let's talk some football. 5 minutes in the pod. Brian throwing curveball.
About time.
Brian's throwing curveball at us.
You're the Gator Tom.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to jump back in as we are currently in week 2 of college football playoff or second round. Week 3 of bowl season. Maybe week 4. I don't know. I feel like bowls be going on that.
Hey, is what Buck doing down there? Isn't that going to offend some people? And shouldn't we blur him out?
I thought it
was declaring for the draft.
As long as not throwing gang signs.
Well, you're right. It's worse.
That devious behavior, sir. All right. All right, guys, before we move on to round two, we're going to reflect on round one here a bit down below for all my people that are watching this live. You can see the game scores. I'll run them right quick. The first game happened on, I believe it was Friday night for the weekend. We had the Alabama Crimson Tide travel down to Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma got to what was it, 17-point nothing league in like the first quarter. Bama came storming back. Then from then on, took over and controlled. Eke out a win, 34-24. Follow that up with Miami traveling over to Texas A&M to take on the Aggies. They escape with a pretty good defensive. You can call it, I guess, a good defensive match. It was far more bad offense. But Miami squeaked out their first playoff win in program history, 10-3. Later that afternoon, we had Tulane traveling down the road to Ole Miss. Buck was right. It pretty much was exactly how the first game went. Ole Miss beats Tulane 41-10.
Just Buck was right.
No, Ryan was in there too.
Yeah,
Ryan was in right. Well, it was right in the sense of like what happened last game is going to happen this game exactly.
I feel like I nailed most of these. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Then the nightcap, Oregon hosting James Madison. Oregon got pretty big pretty early. James Madison, for anyone with a bad beat, pretty much coming back to cover in the fourth quarter.
Cover
51-34. Yeah, I believe it was like 51-13.
It was so close.
Kind of like late third quarter.
Like
The second
I don't care. I don't care who they were playing against. What first, second, or third string, but James Madison scored more points on Oregon than any other team this season.
That's the truth. That's a fact, and we can't ignore those. Besides that, anybody else have any quick thoughts of first round one games?
Oh, if you listen to the last podcast, I think I nailed them. Alabama, it's tough to beat. Oklahoma had that game. The Alabama fourth down play right there at the goal line was gutsy. And then Mateer, that third down where he could have ran it, got the first down instead of trying to chunk play, get a 40-yard pass, and it hit the receivers in the hand. I saw a lot of people on Twitter bitching about that, saying he should have just ran it. Absolutely not. His receiver has 2 steps on the D-bag.
Yeah, it was wild.
And then the next play, obviously, drop punt. That leads to 3, and then the Mateer terrible pick 6. You're like, oh boy, this is probably over now.
So, and fun fact, that wasn't Mateer's fault. That was
I absolutely agree with throwing the ball.
Yeah, that was from what I saw, it was supposed to be a hot route switch, and the receiver didn't run the right route.
Oh no! I thought you were talking about the pass deep where he the hit the receiver.
Oh, the pass. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying he should have just ran and got the first down because he had it. I'm like, yeah, he's wide open.
I mean, yeah, wide open was. Yeah, I mean, that was you can't fault the quarterback on that. Receiver guy.
A lot of people did on Twitter though.
Yeah, no, it's Twitter. Twitter's the Wild West. Quick thoughts for me: Miami, Texas A&M. Pretty much. I think I was saying the under was probably gonna be the player here. I didn't think it would be 10-3. Obviously, but the offensive lines. I'm really surprised. Really, Miami actually dominated this game. They should have won like 3-3. They just had a couple of mistakes. Mario burning 2 timeouts in the first quarter. He got away with it in this game, but that's kind of like just the question.
That's his typical thing, man. He just makes harebrained mistakes during big games.
The big games.
He didn't bite him in the butt this time, but he usually seems to.
Besides that, I will say with the Tulane Ole Miss game, I know that you look at the score and see 41-10, but Tulane was actually moving the ball. Ole Miss, they just didn't have the dudes to finish. So, feature Doss, just keep that in mind as we talk about that Georgia game later. Oregon is really not much to take away. Oregon kind of just did their thing. Didn't need to do too much.
I will ask you one question. After the blowout of Tulane and the James Madison was a blowout in the third quarter, do they go back and only allow one Group of 5 team in the future now?
I mean, in the future, I think what they're probably going to do, which they should have done, is kind of make we call it like a rule, a modified rule, where like the team has to be ranked in the top 20 or something.
So I've seen a couple ideas.
Okay.
Make the Group of 5 play at least 4 Power 4 teams. James Madison's only one was against Louisville. It was a loss. They played against Oregon. Loss. In the regular season, make them play 4 Power 4 teams. Not opposed to that. Obviously, it would take a couple years for that to get in line with scheduling and stuff.
Yeah, and it also would be hard to do that because
there's way more Group of 5 than Power 5.
Yeah, most of these conferences.
Well, you got to think not all these teams are going to be competing there. I mean, you're not going to see Coastal already gets a couple in-state with Clemson, Carolina, but you don't see James Madison really have any powerhouses. Like they don't go play at Virginia, mainly because Virginia probably doesn't want to play them and pay them.
Yeah.
It's like Boise State back in the day. Nobody wanted to play them.
Yeah, but Boise State was good. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but I think it also comes back to hurt them in the future for ranking wise. They won't leave a Notre Dame out and put 2 Group of 5 teams in, and especially in the near future.
But that's, I think they would modify something so that won't happen just so because this is a business and it's not like a pure playoff. But I'll push back if the ACC just did their job and had Miami and Virginia in the ACC championship game, then like that would never happen. Notre Dame would never been out the playoff. Like so, more so than anything, it's the ACC's fault for having such a weird tiebreaker.
Yeah,
and it's not really their fault, but it's just a circumstance of having 17 teams in your conference. All these other conferences, they're so backloaded. Like you can't have it's going to be an unfair schedule for somebody that someone's going to have zero to get there. And
I think it just hurts the Group of 5 in the future.
Yeah. And the Group of 5 also, the transfer report kind of hurt the Group of 5 more than anything with this playoff. Because if you, I promise you, go look at the all conferences for every Group of 5 team the next year to see, or a couple of weeks actually, how many of those players are in the P4.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, they're also going to get some of those guys from the Group of 5 teams that didn't really play that are,
the scrubs,
seniors. So
yeah, there might. I mean, the chance of someone that's on a Power 4 team being great in the Power 5 is less than like a G5 team or someone like a really good player at G5 going to the P4 and being able to produce. Depends on the program, obviously, and some other circumstances, but like I think that's the case. But like James Madison, for example, I think Lonzo Barnett just announced he was going to the portal. So, but also the level of a G5 team is much less than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The fall, like as far as quality, like Cincinnati is probably going to be the last true G5 team that made the playoff. That was actually like a pretty good team as far as like a G5 opponent.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I guess how these guys progress to the transfer portal from the Group of 5 to the Power 4.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a mixed bag right now. So
yeah. Go back to your original question. I'll probably answer that as yes. Like, some way they're going to rig it where only one G5 team will definitely be in.
Because it'll be the eyeball test or whatever they want to use.
Yeah.
Their reasoning now.
Because if Notre Dame game, you had at least three decent games.
Yeah.
Not saying it couldn't be a blowout now, but like Notre Dame was given Ole Miss way more of a competitive game for it. Or whoever they were going to play. But
I think it would have been Oregon, Notre Dame. Still, I'd rather watch.
No. It would have been Ole Miss because Tulane.
It's 11-6.
Yeah, but Tulane would have been the 12th seed.
Either way.
Yeah, either way.
I'd rather watch one of those games than what we got, the nightcaps.
Yeah. And the way they promote these playoffs, much like how these playoffs are kind of killing bowl season. Like you got to have better games, even if it's bigger programs, they getting blown out. Still, like I'm pretty sure that if you look at the numbers, and also they were competing with the NFL too. I think they got a college football will have to figure that out.
Yeah, they got to do something.
They got to do something. You can't compete with the NFL, man. Like you're just sabotaging yourself at this point. Not first round games. All right. Besides that, we'll keep moving forward. We also have, some in-state teams. Clemson going up to New York City, to the Bronx, to the Yankee Stadium, Pinstripe Bowl to take on the Nittany Lions. Pretty much, the game was pretty competitive for the most part. To near the end, Penn State pulled off late in the fourth quarter to win the game 22-10. This is Cade Klubnik's final game, right? You've seen it, right?
Yep.
Keep going.
Yeah, so he's gone.
He gone
With that, Garrett Riley
to the Canadian Football League.
was announced that his services would not be needed at Clemson. Since Jacob's not here, Matt, I give you the floor and guess where Clemson goes from here.
Well, from what I've been seeing, it hasn't been great choices. I've seen Pitt's offensive coordinator, but I've also seen a lot of Chad Morris. Don't really know how I feel about Chad Morris. Yes, it was a very gimmicky, hurry-up offense with tempo. Now I don't know if that works in this age of football. He's been out for 5 years. A little worried about that. Also, we're just worried about if Dabo actually lets him have control of an offense. I think Dabo has his hand involved too much. But, I mean, if you expected anything else from the Pinstripe Bowl, you clearly haven't watched. This has been a terrible offense all year. I feel like we've gone back to throwing screens every play. They have no run game. It's really bad. I was really hoping that they would go after Monken from the Ravens offensive coordinator spot because he wanted to get back to college. But I think the Ravens are going to have a little playoff run here, and it'll be after the transfer portal, so he'll be out. So, unfortunately, everything I've seen has had Chad Morris's name attached to it, or Pitt's offensive coordinator Bell is their other option. So, don't know how I feel about either one of them. Not great about Chad Morris. So, yeah, this will be a big hire because I think if this doesn't work out and we have 2 more years of this, I think Dabo might end up. If we go, 7-5 again, or 7-6 even, I think Dabo could be writing his way out of Clemson if he gets us incorrect.
Agreed. I leave with the Clemson expert. I really don't have much to say for him. To see if hope Dabo's, is back on it. I say Clemson, Florida State, Miami. The ACC wants to keep that image up as a power conference. They need their schools start performing.
They might have them in the group of 5.
With that, also, we've had 2 new coaching hires to update for. Started Auburn. What's the USF coach name again, Ryan?
Golish.
Golish. There you go. Hired at. Is Alex Golish? He's hired at Auburn University after a pretty long head coach search. With that, also Michigan with all its occasions with Sherrone Moore. They do hire Kyle Whittingham coming from Utah. It was just thought to be retired. Now he's coaching Michigan.
He said he wasn't retiring.
But he was retired. He did say that.
Yeah, he said that plenty of times. He was not retiring. In that
not retired, yeah. So
stepping back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't know he was going to Michigan though. No one knew.
I don't think that he that was on his radar at the time. No.
Yeah.
So I guess he upgraded on the roster, definitely. Also upgraded on the pressure. But y'all have any quick thoughts on those 2 coaching hires?
Golish, I think he might be in over his head already at Auburn. We're talking about a guy who's only been a head coach for 2 seasons.
Really good OC though. And I think that's what Auburn needs. They need some offense. Their defense is
They
there.
do,
They
and I'll give it to them. They need a cheerleader, and he is definitely a big cheerleader on the sideline. He's very animated, very active. That'll at least get Auburn fans fired up. And
So is Lane Kiffin. He's the next Lane Kiffin. Said it here.
oh, it's not the comparison you usually want. And then Whittingham, I mean, he's won consistently for 22 seasons at Utah. I think it's for what Michigan, was thrown in this offseason. I think it's a pretty decent hire for him.
Yeah, given how late this was into the coaching search, I think it's probably the best they could do. Also, they probably just need somebody to stabilize the program right now. I don't see this.
I'm sure it's a little in flux at the moment.
Yeah, so I don't see this as a long-term solution. Maybe 3 years, depends on how it goes. They'll probably give them 2-3 year contract, I would think, and see what happens and probably prepare for it in that's 2028, 2029 seasons. But right now, just given all the stuff Michigan has going on that campus, not just with the football program, the basketball program also, they just need something kind of safe. I guess a bunch of Mormons potentially can move to the University of Michigan.
Mormons don't cheer for Utah.
Yeah, no, that's BYU, Nick.
That's BYU. I was still some Mormons.
We're trying to soak, all right? Or avalanche, or hurricane, or whatever they call it, outside of the soaking.
Oh, Lord. All right. With that being said, fellas, we're going to move on to round 2, college football playoffs. For anyone that's not familiar with the college football playoff, for round 1 is on campus. Round 2 would be all neutral sites games. We have 4 games taken off, 1 game on New Year's Eve, 3 on New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, we have an old rematch from a national championship that happened about
2001, 24, 25. It's 2001 game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 01, yeah.
01 game. We got the Miami Hurricanes coming off their first playoff win in school history. Traveling to take on the number 2 seed, Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State is a 9.5-point favorite in this game. We have the over-under set at 40.5. But what do you expect from Julian Fan and Carson Beck in this QB duel in this game? As both are facing pretty good defenses.
I mean, this is probably the biggest wild card game quarterback-wise. Julian Sayin, pretty solid young quarterback. This Miami defense is really good, especially D-line up front. Carson Beck is he's just like a game manager. What was he, 17 of 20 at Texas A&M? He's not going to beat you. That's what he's turned into. He's just going to game manage, try to win it, give it to Mark Fletcher Jr., see if he can bust one. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't love either one of the quarterbacks. Mainly, give me one, I take Sayin just because I feel like he has a higher ceiling. But Carson Beck definitely has the higher floor and a little more conservative game plan. So I'd probably take the under just because of that Miami defense, and I don't trust Beck to score points.
All right. And how about you, Ryan? Any insights in this game?
Well, Buck brought up one thing. Miami does have a very good defensive line. But this is probably one of the O-lines that's going to be able to at least go toe-to-toe with them. And Ohio State doesn't have a bad D-line itself. I think if you're picking the trenches, which is what's really helped a lot of the playoff winners so far, I'm taking Ohio State in this one. Defense definitely means a lot more for me in this game than offense does. Like Buck said, saying young quarterback, high pressure situation. I don't really know what to expect out of him other than his, usual consistency, but I don't know if that's enough to win a playoff game. And as for Beck, he wasn't terrible against Texas A&M, but he wasn't stellar either. And he's probably going to have to step it up a lot against the Ohio State defense if he wants to win. I don't know if he has that ability to elevate that offense the way that you'd want him to against a team like Ohio State.
All right. And if you were making a play in this game, what do you think would be the best play?
I'd take Miami to cover.
Miami to cover?
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Buck?
Oh, I was taking the under. I don't.
Oh, you're taking another?
Yeah, I think Sayan struggles a little bit with that defensive line, but then Carson Beck is not going to throw up many points, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Trying to see what's 25 this one. So I'm looking at Ohio State's schedule right now, and I know they cruised pretty much for most of the season, other than the Big Ten. But I guess actually speaking on their offense, facing opposing defenses, legit competition, which pretty much would be in 4 games. The offense have only put up 14 points, 24 against Washington. Yes, put 38 against Penn State, but that game was kind of close for most of it. Then only 10 and 27. So it's if there's a path for Miami to kind of get the upset in this game, to me, it's you're going to have to pretty much shut down this passing offense and not let Jeremiah Smith or Cartel tear you up at the corners. Miami's not elite at the corners. So that's what kind of be the red flag. And when Miami did play against good teams or decent offenses, including Louisville, SMU, they did give up some plays, which end up losses in those games. I'm still going to take Ohio State to win, but I would definitely take Miami to cover. I think Miami can stay with 10 points in this game. I can see them 7. Unless Carson Beck just puts the ball in a turnover frenzy. That's kind of what you'd be scared of, I guess, in this game. But I think Ohio State is still the better of the 2 teams. All right. You have any more thoughts before we move on? Keep moving, guys. All right. Off to our next game. Yeah, the Orange Bowl, 12 o'clock. New Year's Day. Oregon Ducks traveling from the West Coast to the East, about as far as you can travel in this country, to take on Texas Tech. Red Raiders, your Big 12 champions. Oregon is a 2-point favorite. This opened at 1, so to go up a point, kind of show you what the Sharks are kind of thinking. Over, under, it's 51.5. Davies, let you take the lead on this. What are you expecting in this game? I know Matt said this is Miami, Ohio State is a wild card, but I think this could be another one too, pretty much, or almost equivalent to it at least.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, in my opinion, this is the most difficult to predict game. Normally, with these 2 teams, I'd point out that Texas Tech on defense way outsizes Oregon's offense, but that was the case for Oregon in a lot of their Big Ten games this year, and it didn't seem to hinder them at all in their offensive performance. And as for Texas Tech, they're used to covering speedy teams like Oregon is. They're used to being able to play sideline to sideline football and guarding against big run teams. They've done it all season in the Big 12 this year. It hasn't been its usual air raid conference. We've seen a lot of exceptional running in the Big 12 this year. So these 2 teams seem like the most evenly matched in the playoff in this round. And I'm not sure what to expect. My gut's telling me to go with Texas Tech on this stuff.
Go ahead, Matt.
Not so fast, my friend. As Lee Corso would say. Give me Oregon. They've been here. Dan Lanning has been here. Texas Tech, brand new. Haven't done it. And how long? How long's it been? Exactly. You don't know. I don't either. But
I don't know if Texas Tech's ever won.
Exactly. I don't think they're ready for this. Oregon, Dan Lanning, been there, done that. Defense, I like Dan Lanning. I just don't trust Texas Tech yet. The Big 12, not the greatest conference. Big 10, little stronger. So I think the schedule gives me a little bit more hope in Oregon and Dante Moore. That's just I'm going to trust Dante Moore to get it done over Texas Tech.
Get her done.
I'll say Texas Tech is hard to judge because outside of BYU, that's pretty much the only really top level team they played. Now, in fairness, they blew them out both times they played, but BYU did beat Georgia Tech.
But I wasn't impressed.
I wasn't impressed by them either.
I was not impressed that game.
I will say that the Texas Tech defense is very legit, especially on the defensive line, and also they might have one of the best linebacking cores too with it. But I guess if you're skeptical with it or your favorite is just like, all right, now you're facing like one of the big dogs. Like, they have the talent, they have the speed, they have the skill, and we don't know if Texas Tech has not faced a team even close to what Oregon has on their roster. So it's like the iffy, but also Oregon in games against like really competent teams, like they haven't covered once in those games, and losing at least one of them outright. That was Indiana. In the Iowa game, I kind of do remember it was 18-16. What you worry about with Dante Moore, I think a lot of analysts are saying he's probably the clear-cut best quarterback in this playoff as far as like just pure talent. With Texas Tech, you do worry about their QB. He's more like a GM, like a game manager. But if they can get that running game against Oregon, Oregon's defense is good, but they're not elite. It's not elite defense. Like, they do give up yards. Even like the James Madison game, I know like a lot of them were back. James Madison in that first half was moving the ball against. They just couldn't execute when it matters. So I'm still part of lean toward Oregon, part of winning. But like, I wouldn't if you went to line with Texas Tech, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I am going to take the over. I didn't specify that.
The over?
Yeah, the over is the play, I think.
51.5? Yeah.
I think that's
I definitely want you up.
Yeah, I'd probably take the over on that one too, honestly.
Yeah. You know what? We're all taking it, so that means the under's going to hit.
We got the vibes.
Yep. It's gonna be
vibes are back.
It'll be 63. Side note for those dope betters. Texas Tech is 12-1 for the season on or actually 13-1?
12-1.
12-1.
12-1 for the record, but they're also 12-1 and against the spread.
What do they got? Neil Brown as their coach?
Yeah, they failed to cover one game that was Arizona State. They lost outright. That's when the quarterback got hurt. So we see how that look. Oregon's a little iffier too. And also, as much as you would say that Oregon's been here before, yeah, they always come up short a lot.
Yep.
I think the thing, kind of a story to watch out for if Dan Lanning doesn't win this game, you're probably gonna start hearing, can Dan finish? It's kind of like, is he gonna be a one and done type of guy? It's gonna be 2 years in a row. Well, not one done this year, obviously, but this is not really considering James Madison, the opponent that Texas Tech is.
The Mike Tomlin conundrum.
Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, I guess. Hey, Jim Harbaugh, run the ball. It's crazy what happens when you run the ball with Derrick Henry. Insane. Also,
let's just hope he forgets next week.
Also, side note, screw Bijan Robinson. Oh my God. It's costing me my fantasy championship. Oh my God, dude. That was insane. What the hell, Rams?
You can't guard Bijan.
Yeah.
He's
Atlanta about there with Atlanta. One more side note, then we'll move on from the NFL. Shout out to the Falcons, though, because if they beat the Saints this weekend, Carolina goes to the playoffs no matter what.
I don't think they'll beat the Saints, but I think Carolina going to win this week. So,
yeah, I think Atlanta can, man. I think Atlanta has the best roster. But we talk about NFL, that's another shit. All right, we're going to hop on to the Rose Bowl. out in Pasadena, California. SEC Big Ten, the Big Two going at each other. We have the Indiana Hoosiers, undefeated Big Ten champs, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide, coming off a 34-24 win over Oklahoma and Norman. Indiana is is a 7-point favorite in this. This originally opened at 6.5, so it went up a point on Indiana's side. Over under is 48.5. Buck. Now, if you're a casual, you see the names Alabama versus Indiana, and your thoughts is like, oh my God, this ain't basketball. Even in basketball, you might still take Bama. But this is
so when you think of Alabama, you instantly now go to basketball. Is that the Nick Saban being gone effect, or?
I don't know, man. It's just a different school, man. It's a different team. Different.
Yeah,
vibe.
aren't they top 10 right now?
They are top 10, but they ain't number 1. That's the standard. That's the standard in Tuscaloosa, you know. But since Davies won't throw his 2 cents there, we'll go to Buck. Alabama. Do you think Alabama can hold up against this Indiana defense? Do you think Indiana can actually live up to his billing? Don't forget, a year ago, caught them everybody by surprise, but they did go play Notre Dame and got waxed. Now this is a different team with another year of experience and some quality players added to it. With Fernando Mendoza, your Heisman Trophy winner, you think the Hoosiers can handle business in Cali?
No, I don't.
Ooh.
I don't believe in Indiana. I haven't been a believer all season. They've somehow got it done. I'm going to stick with it. I just don't believe Indiana is that team. Shut your mouth, Ryan. I don't believe Mendoza is going to be able to handle the Alabama defense. I know their secondary has not been great this year, but I think they can still contain this Indiana offense. Alabama got Jam Miller back. I think that really started to help them. That Oklahoma game opened up the run game a little bit more than what they've been doing in the past. I just believe in Alabama more than I do in Kurt. And give me the black hoodie, the black saber, so whatever the hoodie is that he wears, the death hoodie that he will be wearing in California to get the win for Alabama.
All right. Go ahead, Ryan. Take the 4.
Well, first I want to say I honestly never thought I'd hear Indiana favored over Alabama in any situation. I never thought I'd hear that.
By a touchdown.
By a touchdown, no less. But I love the lack of self-awareness Buck's got when he says he hasn't believed in them all year, and they keep proving him wrong. I mean, you'd think he would have learned by now, but
nope.
I didn't believe in him either until the Ohio State game, and now I can't see how you don't. Ohio State looked like, other than having a freshman at quarterback, looked like the most complete team top to bottom, and Indiana came out on top. So I think the Hoosiers could really do it. I think they could put Alabama away.
Carly, if you're watching this podcast, let's go Hoosiers, baby. I'm there with you, girl. Fun fact, her husband's a Ohio State fan, so that was a house divided during that game that they were at, actually. Now, my take on this is I'm going to part side with Ryan on this. I think Indiana, because they're going to go with, Kurt Cinetti is going to go with chip on his shoulder, especially after how they look against Notre Dame. I think the difference now is Fernando Mendoza. I'm not saying he's going to be this elite decision maker and stuff, but he can throw the ball he's an NFL quarterback. He's going to be able to make plays. Now, can this Indiana roster hold up against his Alabama? Well, Florida State did, and they went 5-7. So, Georgia pretty much stumped them out in the SEC championship. Bama has some close ties where this is a team, especially running the ball. They figured some things out against Oklahoma, but they were down 17-0. And if Oklahoma hit on some plays, it should have been 24-0, honestly. for it. So give me Indiana. I think they're in the business. I don't see Alabama's defense as being elite. So I don't think they will get some stops. I just think Indiana pulls away. I think honestly 7 is too low. If you have an alt bet, if there was an alt bet for this, I'll easily bet 10. No shot to the Alabama fans out there.
Mm-mm. Ain't nobody like that.
All right, and we go to a final game. Have the Sugar Bowl down there in New Orleans. Number 6, Ole Miss, travels down there to take home Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia is a, clicking thing. I ain't doing bugging. 6-point favorite in this. Over unders 55.5. Side note, as you already know, Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss right after the end of the regular season to go take the LSU job. Pete, what's his last name?
Golden.
Get him out. Al Golden. Is the head coach going from the defense coordinator position. Kirby coming off rest. Having a bye. SEC champion Georgia. Ryan, we're going to start with you. You think Ole Miss has any put up enough points against the Bulldogs and make this a game?
Yeah. Ole Miss has pretty much shown they can put points on just about anybody. They've played a pretty legitimate SEC schedule, and I don't think there's been a single game they've been held to under 20 points. I'm more worried about can they stop Georgia from scoring, because if it's a shootout, Georgia's definitely more durable than Ole Miss is. They got a lot more depth, and they have a lot more players to keep in rotation that can have an impact. But Ole Miss, they have big play. They have much more success at big plays than Georgia does. And that's kind of been Georgia's Achilles heel, is letting big plays go. Whereas the rest of the time, their defense seems stout. So honestly, I think Ole Miss has just the right frame to put Georgia away, when Georgia could probably play with and possibly beat almost any other team in the playoffs. But I think Ole Miss gets them on this team.
All right. How about your Buck?
So you asked if Ole Miss could stay with Georgia. That first matchup they had earlier in the season, how many of the first possessions did they score until it took their first punt?
What, 5?
It was 11 drives before there was a punt by both teams. Both teams. It was touchdown, 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 touchdown. End of half, Georgia kicked the field goal. So it was 21-20. So both of these teams could move the ball. There's no doubt about that. Ole Miss, Georgia both come out, score touchdowns, and then Ole Miss has the first punt of the game, and that is the end of the third quarter. They can stay with Georgia. Will they finish? I don't believe so. Georgia makes second half adjustments. They do it every game. They will go down to Alabama. They'll make those adjustments, second half come back. They did it to Ole Miss, and then Ole Miss slowed down on scoring. Kirby's second half adjustments win the game for Georgia. I think it's a really good game, but I think Kirby makes the adjustments that Golding doesn't, and that's the difference.
I'll side with that. I guess looking at the schedule for Ole Miss. I guess you're right. They are putting up points on everybody. That's also in the Lane Kiffin. So, I don't know how small those little details at halftime are going to matter. But I'm also
they have 6 assistants still there, though, Nick. Let's not. Yeah. It's still Charlie Weiss as the OC still.
But it's also the only competent offense they face outside of Georgia is maybe LSU. Before that, and that was early in the season. So it's they And even Oklahoma still put 26 on them, and Georgia put 43 on them. So it's like, all right, your defense might have good stats, but I don't think they're going to stop anybody. Like, I think they're going to turn the ball over on offense at least once.
So now we're going to just talk smack about Tulane not being a good team. I'm just asking.
A stark contrast.
I mean, they beat them 45-10.
You're talking a lot different than you were last week about Tulane.
I said competent offenses.
Tulane didn't have a competent offense.
Tulane?
I just didn't know if you forgot. They beat
Tulane scored 20 points
twice. Just curious.
They got scored 86-20 in 2 games against.
Listen, I was just asking for clarification. That's all I wanted.
Oh God.
Pick your side, Nick. You can't ride the fence your whole life.
I'm just saying that I think Georgia, Kansas. I think the play on this is 6 with Georgia. They know over 2. I mean, honestly, Park and parlay it, and you still be all right. Getting -6 for Georgia, parlay it with the 55.5. Honestly, I think there's. Unless Gunnar Stockton just has a horrible game, and that can be like the wild card with it, if he's like turnover prone. But I don't think Kirby's going to put him out of his comfort zone in this game. I don't think he's going to need it.
I do have one concern about Georgia, and that's their lack of run game this year, which is weird.
And this is the same issue with Alabama, but it comes and goes. Like, they don't have a dominant, but like it looked at, I mean, got them through Georgia Tech. Got through Alabama, honestly, and Texas. It's not like the elite run game that we're kind of like used to seeing with Georgia.
I think they've just got so many guys too. Is the issue.
Yeah,
they're trying to keep 4 guys happy out of the portal.
Right. Well, won't they short things up in the playoff?
We'll see.
We'll see. We shall see. With that being said, that's our last playoff game. Is there any other? Let me go over them, I guess, before I ask this opinion. Other bowl games, at least on the bigger side of things. God, get this thing scrolled for me. There we go. What do we got tomorrow? Well, we got tonight. Well, we got Tennessee, Illinois going right now actively. Illinois is winning 24-14. Big Ten. I see it. USC, TCU tonight. That's Big 10, Big 12. Tomorrow, before the Miami game, Miami Ohio State kickoff, we do have on New Year's Eve, number 23 Iowa take on Vanderbilt. That's your 12 o'clock game. Arizona State Duke. That's actually probably a good solid game.
The next one.
Michigan, Texas for the big brands.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Followed by Utah and Nebraska.
They don't have a coach.
Nebraska or Utah?
I mean, Nebraska doesn't have a quarterback.
Nebraska does not have a quarterback.
Rail is gone. Utah doesn't have a coach. I'm not really. Ooh. It's the opt-out bowl.
I thought Utah upgraded. They promote. They had Coach Amazing, whoever that guy was. OC.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I
mean, there's still no Ryan. What are you doing there, man?
I'm being attacked.
Is it by Gator Chomp?
No, it is not.
I think you should do it.
I can't get him either, though.
I mean, maybe Cincinnati might be interesting.
Maybe Cincinnati. I don't know. That would be bad.
I'm sorry. I'm too distracted by.
SMU Arizona too would be a solid one Friday in the Holiday Bowl. And if I want to watch Mayo getting dumped on somebody,
I thought about going to that one. I'm sure it's cheap.
Was that Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, I got Friday off too. I was just up in Charlotte Sunday, and I don't know. Every time I go that day, I've been watching teams lose, so I might just. If I have no dog in that fight, I am pulling for Wake. Wake is surprised at 8-4 this year. Can't say that I saw that one coming.
Yeah, but I don't really want to deal with the cowbells. Is the only issue.
Shit.
No, yeah, I don't want to hear those.
But you get mayonnaise, bro.
I don't care. I don't want to listen to the cowbells.
Get some chicken salad. You want? All right. Any of those games excite you, or any last thoughts before we get up out of here?
That Tennessee game's about to get cut on here because I'm shocked that Tennessee's only scored 14 going into the fourth. But apparently Illinois is really good at pissing off South Carolina or SEC team. Shout out to them doing it last year too.
One with the SEC fans, excuses gonna be with that one.
It just means more.
It just means more for it.
I'm sorry, you're a Florida fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was doing the Beamer.
I didn't know if you were doing the Miami symbol is what you're about to be.
No.
Miami
You're already a Florida fan, so I figured you just go to the U next.
for it. All right, I'm gonna get back with that, guys. I guess look at the playoff schedule. When's the next game? The 9th?
Yeah, they get a week, I think.
For
No, the 20, the
10th. 10th
Yeah, they
of
get a
the
week and a
the
half.
10th. Oh, the 10th. Oh, jeez.
So semifinals would be January 10th. National championship would be the 19th.
Oh, wait. Miami, Ohio State play tomorrow.
Yes.
No, I know. Talking the semifinals.
Oh, the finals. My bad.
It's okay. He's
I was
still
really interrupted just going through this. So, just for Ryan's sake, let's hit rewind and go again. We do have 4 games tomorrow, round 2 of the playoff. And Ohio State and Miami, New Year's Eve at 7:30. New Year's Day, you have Texas Tech and Oregon in the Orange Bowl at 12, followed by Alabama and Indiana, followed by Georgia and Ole Miss. That will be your round 2 games. Moving forward with that, the winners of those games will go to the semifinals, which will be held on January 10th at I'm not sure, or the sites. Whatever, I can look that later. And the national championship being the 19th, which is a Monday. And that will wrap up our college football season. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, as always. Till the next time, I'll keep you posted. This is the Dual Threat Podcast. Please check us out on all major socials. If you listen to this podcast, please give us a follow or subscribe on wherever you listen to a podcast form. For Buck and for Davies, who's the resident Florida fan, on the podcast.
No, that's not, no.
Live.
No,
Shout out to Jacob.
No,
Hope he had a safe flight.
that is
Flight
not sticking
safely
around.
in Hawaii. Is that Gary Trump going in the background?
It is
I'm not
not,
big.
and it's not gonna, no, and it's not gonna be.
This is the Dual Threat Podcast, guys. Appreciate you. Gentlemen, as you were.
Later, boys.
Later, guys. Ow, Clark, ow. That's mean.